Dave's got me a special guest today, Dr. Klein. How are you, Dr. Klein?
I'm well. Thank you, Dave. Thank you for having me.
I want to give you guys a quick shout out for reaching out to me through Simple Natural Foods and being able to do a podcast with you. I picked up on one of your products, Rhoziva, and it's one of those things that helps with mental health. But before we get into that, can you give me a little background about who you are and what it is you do?
Yeah. So you said, you called me Dr. Klein. So it's Dr. Klein ND. I'm a naturopathic doctor.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been at it for a little over 20 years. Graduated from the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine, Toronto. And I split my time between helping people. Nowadays, it's mostly virtual practice, focusing on chronic health issues, mostly cardiovascular health issues. I have a book, self-published book called Read This If You Have a Heart, the book on lowering high blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar naturally. And all things related to that. And of course, stress is at the heart of a lot of health issues. So it's valuable to know and understand how that plays a role. And the other part of my work is I'm a partner and a formulator, scientific officer of a natural health product company called Nutraceuticals that is actually based out of a small town about an hour and a half south of Calgary. And I'm here in Toronto, so don't ask me how that happened. But yeah.
I thought that was
how that happened.
I thought that was really interesting when I looked at that website. Talk a little bit about more about that. What is it so special about that area that you guys use?
So, I guess like many things, kind of sprang out of what's the word? Serendipity? No, I can't even pronounce the word.
But it sprung from that.
Good fortune coming,
yes.
Things coming together. Serendipity. You must know what I'm referring to.
I do. Serendipity.
Okay. There you go. Anyways, so what happened was that at one point in the early 2000s, over a period of time, I should say, not a particular point in time, the government of Alberta was actually researching the cultivation of a unique medicinal plant in Alberta, a plant called Rhodiola rosea, which is also known as golden root or as Arctic root.
Okay.
And so, as the name implies, it grows in Arctic, or more accurately, subarctic areas throughout sort of the northern hemisphere, mostly in Europe and Asia, and more sporadically on the coastal areas or in the coastal areas of North America. Anyways, it's a plant with formidable regenerative properties, anti-stress, pro-energy properties. And so at the end of the project, after they've look at the different strains and pick the strain and experiment with its cultivation, which takes a good 5 to 7 years to reach maturity before it can actually come to market. They approached a company that was our parent company, that at the time, a company that actually was in the source water bottling business.
Okay.
And the idea was, hey, let's make a drink with this thing. And we put together something to that effect. We created the drink, but we found out that the active compounds didn't last for a very long time in a water like that. So we end up with a whole lot of root, and we needed to do something with it. So that's how it started, actually.
That's pretty cool. To go through all those steps to find it, but then to develop it and carry it on. And now it's such a great product that helps folks. That's kind of like a life's work for you, isn't it? The last 20 years.
Yes. So, a lot of things have happened in the middle, but ultimately it's the feedback that we get from people who use this. And basically the gist of it is that 80% of users notice a difference in their mood, in their energy levels, in their cognitive function within a day to 6 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And that's
And so I want to put that in perspective.
yeah.
If you get an antidepressant, a classical antidepressant takes 30 days to kind of kick in to function properly. And although we can't really market it as such for depression, it tends to improve mood and affect and just mental well-being in a much shorter period of time.
And that's so critical in these days, I think. Like, you're able to use something that's natural that actually can help your body, right? It's
right.
It's working with your body, not against your body in some form.
That's right.
How did you come about this career? Like, have you always been interested in medicine? Was this just something, like, usually there's a story behind it. Is there a story behind it with you?
Well, I guess since young age, when I was given a gift, a book, a well-known health book known Fit for Life, I got very interested in the connection between nutrition and health. And so out of that sprung my interest in naturopathic medicine.
And you just took it from there and ran with it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And we'll go back now, because I do want to talk about when you brought that up earlier, and we were talking about the products and just the mental health, the overall mental health of folks. This, what this stems from for this root, obviously, like you said, how it's helping people. Is it something that you can maintain long term? Is this a product that you can take every day, or
you can take it every day for sure? You can take it every day, and look, it's an over-the-counter product. I'm not treating here, not giving medical advice necessarily. The nature of this plant extract is such that it's been taken for. There are long historical records of people using it for, especially in the winter times.
Yeah.
To overcome the sort of the dread of winter, the fatigue and gloominess comes with it, and so it can be taken for relatively prolonged periods of time. Everybody's different, and different people take it for different things, and it really depends on the person and what they need it for. That would determine the duration of use of that sort of thing.
And we're talking about Rhoziva on this one, because that's the product that we're sort of focused on today. Now, would someone come to you first before they took it, or is this, like you said, it's just over the counter? So, do you see a lot of folks, like you said, you get the testimonials? Do people just want to give it a try, and then they're like, hey, this had an impact?
Well, for the longest time, when we kind of started, we had a sampling program where people would have, so it comes in blister packs, and each blister pack lasts 6 days. So we dispense a lot of those sort of things. And typically we had a product sold or offered through independent health food stores in Canada. And the owners and the managers would tell us that it was very, very helpful. People would come back shortly after, and it helped them. And so that basically helped instill confidence in the users, purchasers, but also the people who sold the product. And it's been used for a variety of a lot of different things. Anything from winter gloominess to feelings of anxiousness to overall fatigue, whether generalized fatigue or as it relates to perhaps menopausal years in women. Even had testimonies from people, and more than just that, but anyways, can be used to also help get rid of addictions.
Oh, really?
We have, smoking cessation clinics. We have anecdotal testimonials about helping with substance abuse and overcoming.
So is this just all the root itself? Like, what's in this? Like, is it just the root that's doing this?
Yeah. So, I mean, think about it in those terms. It grows in subarctic areas, very stressful areas for plants to grow in. And so the terrain is frozen for a prolonged period of time. It's dark most of the time. It's very, very cold. And the compounds that are produced within the root are compounds or plant hormones that help the plant withstand stress, and they actually mimic the effects of our hormones of vitality, hormones that we naturally produce that help give us vitality and energy and so on. So things like testosterone or progesterone, a hormone like DHEA, those sort of things. So it mimics the effect of these hormones, which naturally counteract the effect of the hormones of stress.
Wow.
And so it alleviates the pressures of stress from our cells, from our, all the cells of our body, especially the brain cells. And, the brain is a small part of our body, but the amount of energy it needs to function properly is disproportional to the rest of the body. Stress suppresses that. So it alleviates that pressure and allow nerve and brain cells to recoup their functions.
Thank you for explaining that to me, because I was trying to see this connection, right? I was trying to figure that out. And just when you said that about growing in Arctic conditions and that the hormonal piece of that root, it all makes sense. Like, thank you. Like, that really is very easy to understand. So then obviously when you take it, this root has already figured it out, how to deal with stress, where we haven't, right? I guess that's what it boils down to, doesn't it? Wow.
Yeah. Nature, God work in mysterious ways.
Yeah, and I mean, how would you even get to that point? But it's cool. Like you said, that root's been around the world for a long time. So obviously folks have discovered it thousands of years ago. Probably this is how it works. That's incredible. Yeah. I do like that, because it's such, it's hard when, let's be honest, as a consumer, when I go to a store, it's hard to figure out what product, like, why does this product work, or what's in this, or, you spend so much time doing research on stuff anymore. You don't even actually know, and then you're trying to break down what this word means. So explaining it I really do appreciate that when you put it in that layman's terms for an average guy like me to understand, and the average public, right? Let's be honest. Right. Then you're like, oh, this makes sense. Like it all works. So good for you guys. Kudos for doing that.
Thank you.
I do want to touch base before I let you go today. I know you're busy, but you guys have a whole line of products. Can you give me some other examples of what you guys carry?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there are a lot of different health issues. So, for example, I got a few things here. A lot of women, stress causes hair loss. So this is a product that helps stop hair loss within 15 to 30 days. It's called Nourishing Waves. Again, great track record in those terms. Not here anymore. We have a product with almost 20 ingredients where you don't have to open a lot of bottles on one shot, and it's available there to support cardiovascular functions, healthy cardiovascular functions, lower cholesterol, support the heart, support the arteries.
Is this based on the same root as well?
So we have several products that are based on the same root. Yeah, one targets more general energy and mental well-being. The other one focuses more on cognitive well-being, as in, focus, attention, memory. That's Rhoziva Brain. Another one focuses on the relationship between stress and just physical exhaustion, and by extension, poor libido and things like that. And that's Rhoziva Edge. And stress is a major cause of digestive issues, irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease, and so on. So Rhoziva Digest address that. And under conditions of excess stress, especially in the fall and winter time, people would be then more prone to frequent colds and flus and prolonged colds and flus. So Rhoziva Immune addresses that. And each one of these products, yes, it has that rhodiola rosea root in it, plus different vitamins and different other medicinal plants and extracts that complement it to address the particular issue we're trying to address, as it is cause of stress, but there are other components too. And so they're formulated with a lot of attention to these sort of things in mind.
And that's the thing. You've got a nice product line. When I checked out the website, and we'll put the website down below so folks can check it out as well, there's a little bit of everything there. Is there one? I'm just going to throw it there. I'm a 60-year-old male. What should I be taking? I don't think I have a lot of stress. Maybe a little low energy once in a while. I'm a busy guy, but is there one that you would say, hey, Dave, this is probably where you need to start?
60 years old.
You don't have to keep bringing it up.
Probably Healthy Heart Plus.
Yeah, well, I've already got 2 stints, so there you go. Good call.
Yeah. It has a lot of Q10, coenzyme Q10, which strengthens the heart. It has certain enzymes that help to keep the blood flowing, and different vitamins and minerals to support cardiovascular function.
Wow, that's cool. Anything else you want to add? Because this, I mean, I could go on and on, but you got to go to work, and I got to go to work. But this is kind of I want to get you back at some point because I do like this conversation. And I want to thank you for breaking it down so simple for me. It makes life a lot easier as a 60-year-old male whose cognitive is in decline, obviously. but that's important. What else? Anything else before we go?
Anything else?
Simple Natural Foods locally.
Yeah,
in Holden, Norfolk, guys. If you want to stop there, yep. Laura carries it, and
if people have questions, they can reach out.
Okay, cool.
And we can answer the questions.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Great talking to you, and it's a pleasure to meet you. And thank you for taking the time today. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.